In this video, we're looking at Oregon's run game. This time we're looking at the zone runs, inside zone, outside zone, maybe a little bit of ISO or zone based, depending on what you want to call it. But really versatile run game. Obviously, they had the gap scheme. We got another video on that if you want to take a look. But this video is going to focus on the zone runs from this past year. A lot of different formations, motions, things along those lines. And we'll dive right in. First play we're looking at right here started off as a bunch. Here's one of their favorite motions, motioning out. Two receivers over here. Now you've got your tight end. You got one receiver here. And he runs somewhat of a bubble, just kind of hangs out right here. And then he runs a sit or a snag here, probably a RPO, getting downhill, reading this cat. And all Oregon's doing up front is they're basically running zone base or ISO. So right here, forefront, two backers. You're going to have 5 down linemen and the fullback here to block those guys. And how they end up doing that is they get a double here up to the front side, basing right there, base. So right here, instead of reading backside C, now you can read this outside linebacker. Fullback wraps around right here. He's leading to the backside linebacker. And again, right here, Bo Nix's eyes get up here to the outside linebacker. He's sitting a little bit too wide. He's not going to get into the box. So he's getting downhill right there, handing that zone base right through the A-gap right here. And the greatest thing right here that you see is his center. He's doubling this A-gap player. He does a great job right here just galloping into him. Boom, puts a hip to him. Displaces that dude into the B-gap. Now he works up to that linebacker. So really good technique there by that center. Everybody else is blocking inside out here so he can get downhill through that A-gap. Not just a great block here by the fullback. Should be a little bit more square, possibly front side shoulder or your left shoulder right there to kick. But right there, not quite square, but it just gets enough. And the running back hits that thing with some momentum, getting vertical. Big play right there on that zone base. Probably an RPO with that motion is what they like to use. Here's a good look starting in 10 personnel formation. Motion our tight end right here. And he's kicking whatever shows up in the C-gap. They're running inside zone that direction. But you're getting like a same side run here by the back. Or this is duo. I'm not sure exactly how or what they would call this. But here on this one, you're seeing a little bit of movement right here. You've got a daggum shade, and he's going all the way out here to the C-gap. So he gets out there to the C-gap, and that ends up being the guy that this tight end ends up kicking. So pretty good job here. Those guys just get on their track. And if you just stop it, you think that these two guys are going to be responsible for those two. They're going to work this linebacker up. He's going to work that gap straight up and probably kick that guy. But once that thing gets snapped, totally different. Everybody's kind of twisting. They're playing over the top right there, and they're kicking that nose. I'd love to say this tackle does a great job and just gets up to that linebacker, but he ends up getting caught up, falling down, tripping, and just doesn't look extremely athletic right there. You love to keep your base and just walk up to that linebacker so you can get a body to him. On this one again, the running back, he's just going straight downhill. Same side run. There's your kick. There is a crease because that nose jumped all the way out to the C-gap. Running back hits this thing downhill with some momentum again. Running with your shoulder pads down and momentum. Falls forward for an extra 2 or 3 right there. Decent gain right here on that split zone. Starting in a 10 personnel formation right there in doubles. Motioned in to a 2-back set. Oregon State trying to play a game right here. They hopped themselves out of that gap. And Oregon, being physical, getting downhill, was able to take advantage of that on a 2nd and 3, getting a pretty decent gain on just the inside zone. Here's a really good look starting with a tight end. You motion in right here, and it's split zone here again. And if you're blocking this backside D, you can obviously get RPO post snap on this as well. But right here, there's the motion, getting in about where that tight end would be, and now we'll snap the ball. If you're looking just straight inside zone going this direction, you tray right there up to the outside linebacker. You're going to double that guy up to the front side, double there to the backside linebacker, leaving this backside defensive end to kick. Or you could bluff that, arc around, or maybe read that guy, maybe get a RPO where that guy's going to the flat, something along those lines. But right here, they just end up blocking this defensive end. And you see these double teams. Again, if you're looking at it, you're getting 3 double teams on this play. This is exactly what you want. There's a double team. We're going up to that linebacker. Here's a center and guard to the front side with a double team. And Utah does a pretty decent job of holding their own right here on these double teams, but they get up to those backers. The thing about the O-lines, they're able to get a body on a body and just get enough right here with this receiver that motioned in, and the running back making this cut all the way to the backside D-gap right here on this one, getting back vertical. Thought this was a really good look. Anytime you get 3 double teams on a play, you feel really good about that run. Utah does a really good job of holding that line, trying to keep them off those linebackers, but those linebackers step in, and those linemen just cover them up, allowing that running back to bounce that thing to the backside. Get a decent gain right here on a 1st and 10. Against a pretty solid defense right there. You thought with 3 double teams we'd be able to get a little bit more movement. Here's a pretty good goal line call and running inside zone right here, basically with this A set and an arrow here by this fullback. This receiver's motioning in. He's blocking the guy that'll be manned up on. I think Bo Nix right here, he's reading his corner, seeing what he's doing. If he's chasing hard, playing man-to-man, not going to be aware of that flat route, he's going to pull it and flip it out there. But right here, as he motions in, he keeps outside leverage. He gets his eyes to the inside, so he hands this ball off. So if you're just looking at how they block this zone, again, they're probably doubling there up, doubling that A-gap to that linebacker, doubling there, blocking there. You're going to leave this guy unblocked, going to leave this guy unblocked. Hopefully you can take those guys with that RPO and that guy going to the flats. Everybody is covered up right here on this one. Defensive end peeks into the backfield, not letting him go vertical, so he has to bounce this thing to the unblocked linebacker or safety. And then right there, anytime you get that look where you're one-on-one with the safety or a linebacker on the 2-yard line, you got to find a way to get into the end zone. Great job finishing into the end zone, making sure you get in right here. They covered everybody up, and they had that RPO where they stayed out here. You're able to take 2 for 2 out here. Now you're one-on-one with a guy that's a little bit flat-footed. Great job finishing in the end zone right there by 6. This is another great view of it right here again. The downhill track, getting these guys to step up so now these double teams can get up to him. Not a great job here by this tackle, but back sees that he's getting edge right there in that gap. Tight end's got to do a better job of covering him up. Hopefully he can move him further horizontally, so now that cut's not as abrupt as it has to be right here. But great cut. Whenever you're an athlete like that, you can make that cut. Then again, find a way to get into the end zone right there. Huge play there for the Ducks. This is a really interesting look from Oregon. They're in Unbalanced. So you got 2 guys on the line of scrimmage right here. They had a fullback, and they motioned him out. And when they motioned him out, it eliminated one of these linebackers from the box. So right here, just running, looks like to me, outside zone or inside zone to the left. So right here, if you're looking at it, this is what it's going to look like there. Double there up. Here's a wide defensive end who's the only guy, and the quarterback's got to read him. And, of course, he gets upfield, playing way too aggressively. And with that outside to mid zone, there's your cut right there. Safety's even playing over the top right there. Great horizontal movement. These guys are working this double team, working up to that linebacker, working this double team up, trying to reach there, get him to widen out, take himself out of the play right there, trying to keep contained. But right there, as you're looking at it, there's going to be a huge cut for the running back to get backside. And that's what they do right here, able to cut that thing back. Great play right there, gets into the end zone for the Ducks there against Washington. Here's a look at the inside zone. You got guys running everywhere on this. Wait till he gets across, and then he snaps the ball. He's going to the flats. This fullback, instead of running split zone, he's actually going to the flats right here on an RPO as well. But if you're just looking at what they're blocking here as far as inside zone, these two are responsible for these two. I'd say he's probably basing right there. This center might be basing, probably getting a double team there to the only linebacker in the box. We'll see what takes place. Again, gets past the center before he snaps the ball. And right here, I guess we're getting a double team here on the nose, working up. Everybody else is based other than this double to the outside linebacker. And with this fullback going over here to the flats, I'm not real sure what the read would be. But right here, getting a give there by Bo Nix. Maybe he's reading the outside linebacker, seeing if he would have ran with that motion, or maybe the corner runs with the motion. Not sure what they're looking at for right there. But again, this double team on the A-gap player working up is pretty clean. Great job being square, giving our guy a two-way cut. And he's able to run straight vertical right at the goalpost. Anytime you can run right at the goalpost on inside zone, it's a beautiful thing right there. Hitting it with some momentum, runs through an arm tackle. Now he's in the second level. These guys having to converge. One high safety is the only guy left right there. So again, downhill, playing momentum. Great job getting square to their blocks and great getting some movement on a double team, whether it's horizontal or vertical there for the Ducks. And the back's able to hit it with some momentum. Huge play right there. This is a great call here on a 3rd and 2. I think they're in a trips close set, so you got your tight end, you got 3 receivers over here. They motion him across, and just this little bit of motion here really softens up the defense. Once he gets across, you see this guy, he's pointing, he's trying to get out there wide. That softens up. Now there's a giant alley right here to run inside zone. That's what they do right here. So again, probably base in there, base, probably double team right there to the only linebacker in the box. And he's just going to work his track up to whoever shows up. He's thinking he's going to block this safety that rolled down, and now it ends up being the safety that rolls into the box late. Again, getting either horizontal or vertical movement right here is what you want to get. Right there's the double team you're looking for. He's scraping tight for whatever shows up. Great job pressing downhill, making this linebacker step up. Now we're going to get into that wash. And let's hit that thing again with momentum. This end is so wide right here with that softening from this receiver coming across. He's not able to fold in and make this play before he gets his momentum going. And again, that's a long way to squeeze for this end to make a play before he can get vertical and get a first down right there on 3rd and 2. So really good job. Just the subtleties of that motion, softening up there to the tight end so they can run the inside zone, get downhill. Great call, great execution there by the Oregon Ducks. Here's a great look of Oregon playing with some tempo. On 2nd and 1, there's still 29 seconds left on the play clock, and they're snapping the ball in a tray set running inside zone to the left. So these two going to be responsible there. Basin, he's going to get there with them, working that one single backer in the box, probably doubling there up. So again, getting a couple double teams or at least working your tracks. Great job right here by this center. Again, getting square, of course. Snapped this ball pretty quickly, allowed them to catch him off guard just a little bit. Great job being square here by the tackle. Tight end works straight up to that linebacker. Anytime you can be that square and give your guy a two-way cut, that's big time. Of course, this D-end's the read for the quarterback. He's getting upfield. Easy hand read. Again, running back hitting it with some momentum, falling forward for an extra 2 after contact right there against a good defense is always big. Here's a look of a 10 personnel inside zone. Just going to take care of these 5 right here. Instead of sifting up through this to this linebacker, you're just going to box this thing and stay based here to the backside. There's your double to the front side. Getting downhill, keeping that box light. Of course, you can RPO if you're basing that backside as far as running slants, which looks like what they're running right here, some sort of a bang 8 in the slant. But right there, likes it, 5-man box, hand that thing off. 2nd and 7, gets about 8 yards right there on just that zone base, taking care of the 5 guys in the box, being physical, getting a double team. Everybody else just boxing, moving their feet. He tries to twist over the top, makes him wrong with the running back making a cut. So, again, anytime you get that 4-1 box, zone base is great, so you can read outside, keep those guys out of the box. And if they start sliding in, that's when you can take advantage of it with some screens or maybe a slant or an out or something along those lines. Now we're going to start looking at some outside zone, and on this one, you're looking at the fullback. He's going to work right there. He's working here. Again, these guys are trying to work outside shoulder. He's reaching with this guard to overtake this nose, and if this nose, of course, goes backside, you can work straight up, and he's working inside, probably trying to reach there to that linebacker. Same thing here with the fullback. But as you're looking at it, they catch liberty in a bit of a stunt. These guys are slanting that direction. He's sliding to the outside. And when they slant that direction, they're running outside zone away. Everybody's able to just pin. So they go straight to the inside gap. Everybody just kind of turns their hips and they pin. The center, when his nose just goes away, he's already got him reached. And that guard's, he knows that guard's going to get there. Let's just keep rolling. He gets up on that linebacker. Now we're stretching that thing instead of going straight downhill with the back. There's your kick. There's your center all the way up on that backer. Everybody else had been pinned. And now we're rolling right there in the alley. Changing the gaps and moving the gaps is huge right there. Big play there against the slant for Oregon to take advantage of Liberty guessing wrong defensively. Here's a great look. You got trips to the boundary down here, running outside zone to the tight end up here. And Utah, they're in a 7-man box. And right here just working there up. He's going to try to reach this guy. Center's probably going to work with him up to that linebacker. Tackle and guard probably working there to that linebacker as well. So right here, really just want to kind of look at the steps. They're trying to put that backside shoulder on right here and just run. That's what happens right here. This frontside tackle, tight end obviously gives a little bit of a gallop step into him to help. Now he's getting up on that outside linebacker that's going to set the edge. And right here, if you're looking just based off of alignment, to me like a 1-tech or a 2-tech. And this center is able to overtake right there. Great first step. Guard's even helping right there, working through contact up to that linebacker. And they're having, again, to change those gaps. They're moving all the gaps that direction about 4 or 5 yards, which is big. And, of course, this running back, he's trying to stretch it outside. But once everything's filled up, this is a pretty good job here by Utah's defense, filling every gap. He's got to slow down. Now he's working all the way to the backside C, and you can see that backside C moved from right here to about right there. This end does a pretty decent job squeezing, but once you stop it right here, that is way too much space right here for this defensive end to make a play on this running back without him making a miss. This is on a 2nd and 1 as well, so right there, easy cut. He stayed a little bit wide right there, didn't surf just quite enough. Then he gets back vertical, gets a decent gain for about 5 or 6 there on the outside zone. And, of course, as you're looking to the outside, you got these 3 receivers. There is a chance to throw this screen out here, so you got to make sure 3 defenders stay out there. And, of course, he could fake that run, rip that screen out there, especially if one of these guys is filling into the box to allow this guy to get a little bit more aggressive to the run. This is the exact same call, same gain. Again, you got trips to the boundary. You got a tight end. They're working this double team, just trying to reach here to the front side. Again, reaching, leaving this backside defensive end. Could rip it out there, especially if this guy's sliding into the box. So now this end can be more aggressive. But again, handing the outside zone. And right here on this one, the back sees that edge is pretty light. And again, this is the wide side of the field because we got trips to the boundary. If there's that much space, you got your back one-on-one with the outside linebacker or a strong safety. That guy should win, especially if they get any piece of the outside linebacker. And right there, they get just enough. And it's just a race there with the running back to the end zone. Easy job outrunning everybody, getting to the corner of the end zone, which is all you're looking to do. And that's why you want to run that to the wide side of the field as far as the outside zone. Trips to the boundary, make those guys condense their formation defensively and now outrun them, especially if you feel really good about your back and his speed, which, of course, they do on this one. Outrunning strong safeties, outside linebackers, walking there for the Ducks against Utah. This is a 1st and 10 here to start the second half in the Pac-12 championship game. You're getting some motion here out of this bunch. You've got a wide 5 technique right here, and they're running outside zone this direction. And as you're looking at it, really good job here by the center fullback. They're just blocking this defensive end. They don't even get up to the linebacker or anything. And this guard, he's just free releasing straight up to this linebacker. Center and backside guard are the ones that really make this play. Center kind of peels back just a little bit, gives a little bit of a gallop into it. That guard gets across. And that center is able to get up on this backside linebacker that's filling in pretty quickly So great job right there getting a body on him. Now just move him wherever he wants to go. Let the back make a cut off of you. And right here, receiver, he's just getting right there on that dude, leaving the corner. And as you're looking at this front side guard, just walk straight up to that linebacker. Huge run, huge momentum play here to start off the second half in the Pac-12 championship game. Getting a really good run. We're a 20 personnel set running outside zone that direction. Really got this on here to just show the center and the backside guard on this one. Center does a great job, snaps the ball, and then he's putting that right arm right in his chest to his front side shoulder pad. And he's getting him knocked off, and he's just working straight up to that linebacker. Great job here by the guard getting there. So right there, works hard. He gets across. Center works straight up to the only linebacker in the box. Lots of horizontal movement right there. Gets everybody sealed. Gets up to that linebacker. And running back, playing with momentum. This is a beautiful look here. He just rolls to it, puts his foot in the ground. He sees a crease, and he just gets vertical, rolling. Beats his safety with speed. Gets all the way to the end zone right here. Really good execution right there by the center and front side guard. Taking care of that nose and getting up to that linebacker. And, of course, now it's just speed and genetics there by the running back, playing fast. Really pretty look there on that outside zone for Oregon. Here's a good look of a 20 personnel outside zone. This fullback's just going to work up right there to the outside linebacker. He's reaching here. Center guard are actually reaching that 3 technique to that linebacker. These guys, they're scooping there to that backside linebacker, reading here with the quarterback. Right here on this one, looks like either he's laid off the ball. This is late in the game. This is the fun bunch. And he just blocks his defense in. But really, I got this on here because I want to see the center and guard. Again, center and guard are key right here on these plays. This linebacker's filling pretty quickly into that A-gap. Really good job here by the center to even notice it because he's almost bearing his head, and then he comes off right there, just gets a piece of it. Great job here by the running back. I know these are the young guys making a cut right there, letting everything wash horizontally, and once he sees that alley, put your foot on the ground, you got to get vertical, runs through an arm tackle right there. Really pretty look there on the outside zone as well. The versatility of Oregon's run game was really good this past year. They ran zone, they ran mid zone, they ran outside zone, they ran inside zone, they ran all kinds of different zones. They ran ISO, and then of course they ran their counter, GT, truck, even a little bit of power in there. So very versatile run game. Those guys are changing it up, just not giving the same look, not same fits to the defense. Of course, had a lot of success putting up points. I think all that starts with having a consistent run game, which Oregon was able to do all year. So appreciate you guys watching. If you guys got any value, just give it a thumbs up. We'll see you guys again in the next video.